Alright, hello everybody, I'm the Sweeper27 and welcome to another Dokkan Battle video. Now this is going to be a what you need to know about all the crazy stuff that has been happening and that's been announced for the 9th anniversary. So if you're a global player, this is stuff to get excited for like the middle of July. And if you're a JP player, this will just be like a quick and easy digestible video for you to see, just so you kind of know everything that's going on. I know I'm super late to the party as always. I'm currently recording this at nearly 3 in the morning, so let's go ahead and get this going. So, Part 1 for the 9th anniversary, it has been confirmed, and they're already live in game, is we have a Super Saiyan Broly and a Super Saiyan Gogeta who can go full power and Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. So let's go ahead and react to the animations for Broly, who is a Dokkan Fest exclusive, and his side banner Golden Frieza. Now I hope that this isn't going to be too loud. I tried doing this a minute ago and it was super loud, so let's go ahead and react to this. I have seen the Broly animations. I have not seen Frieza's, nor have I heard their OSTs, so let's hope that these are fire.
Whoa, that's so extra for a side banner unit animation. That's fire. All right, that is cool. And I have seen these before. This is probably one of the best animations you don't have right now. Like, look at this. It's so beautiful and raw. And this OST too, man. Woo, look at her boy. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Oh my god. This was a good decision for part one. Look how stylish the movie is. Oh, look at him go. And it's just ruthless, man. And then he just pounds on him afterwards. Like, he just goes and he just pounds over and over and over again. Oh, I love it. I love it. That's so hype. And then this is the ATP right here. This is just beautiful with like particle effects and not going. Look at that. Dude, that's like a PC background if I'm being completely honest. Look at that. And it just keeps going. That's what I love about all these hype animations. That they just keep going. They never stop. Oh. And then this is his domain active skill transformation with speed performance first time. But look at the kids in just wait a second. This OST goes fire. I wouldn't really expect it for a Broly though. And then this is actually an AoE as we're about to see. And now we got the fire 8. Oh my god, that animation right there. Oh my god, Broly is so cool. And then he status the dimension. Oh my god.
Yeah, they cooked with those. They absolutely cooked. So let's go ahead and look at their kits. Let's start off with the Golden Frieza side banner unit. So super bosses or genius warriors, which I'm assuming is gifted warriors. Yeah. All right. So, whoops. Let's get this back into English. There we go. 130 to stats and 3 key. So he gets 160% attack and 130% defense at the start of turn. If you receive or evade an attack, he will perform a critical attack that turn, and then he gets an additional 160% attack and 130% defense for 3 turns. That's what? Okay, so he can go into like, wow. Reduce damage received by 60% for 1 turn from first appearance. Reduce damage received by 50% on entering the next attacking turn with 3 or more key spheres. And from the 5th turn, reduce damage by 60% with 3 or more key spheres obtained. And then he has 40% damage reduction. Does he have 100% damage reduction turn 1? Yo, what? So turn 1, if I'm reading this right, 100% damage reduction. Then with 3 key spheres, he has 90%. And then from turn 5, with 3 key spheres again, he's going to have 100% damage reduction. Surely that's not how that works, but I think I'm reading that right. Okay, well, broken sideburning unit, best sideburning unit in the game. If there's a super boss's category ally in the same turn besides himself, He gets an extra 20% damage reduction? What? So he's going above 100%. That's... Okay, maybe that's in place just in case for whatever reason you can't get 3 orbs. So he would still have 60% though. And then he gets 2 key 60% attack and 30% defense for all allies who are super bosses. Greatly raise attack and defense amidst damage to the enemy and a high chance to stun. Okay, so yeah, Frieza is absolutely broken. Holy hell. And now, Broly. I guess we could also take a quick glance at the super bosses category. It is a little lame from what I've seen. So obviously you have the Zamasus, that's good. But then, like, it's any character who is, like, not even necessarily a villain, just, like, fights against Goku or Vegeta at any point is kind of what I'm picking up from this category. So yeah, obviously Goku Black, you have, like, your Zamasu units. You have your hit units. But LR Golden Frieza and, like, physical Beerus, or STR Beerus and Whis, they are counted not as they're counted as like movie bosses esque characters, whereas like the all the other incarnations, like assumingly this will be like the Dragon Ball Super version of Beerus as opposed to the movie. So looking at it right now, this isn't a super busted category, although right here, right here, these two units can kind of carry the team itself, along with Zamasu, who's actually on his 200%, which is good. So let's go ahead and look at what this guy does. Now, I was watching the live stream live, and I was listening to Goresh live translate. I was like trying to live tweet as it going on, so I have a vague idea what they both do. So his entrance animation, for 4 turns, he gets 5 key and 100% attack and defense, and he will always launch an additional super. He gets 150% attack and defense at the start of turn. He guards all attacks. Every time he gets a key sphere, he gets an extra 1 key. He gets an additional 50% attack when doing a super, and an additional 50% defense when it is an ultra super. When attacking as the first or second attacker in the turn, he gets 2 key and launches an additional super attack. And then as the third attacker in a turn, he gets 6 key, launches an additional attack, and there's a high chance that it will be, or he'll launch another one that'll be a 50% chance. So in slot 3, he's launching a guaranteed additional, and then he's launching a 50% chance super with 6 key. So he's actually very good in this first form. His only real defensive mechanic is guard, which isn't always my favorite, but he is getting a lot of stats. Like, he's getting 150 here, 100 here. He's going to have a lot of keys. He's going to be able to launch a lot of super attacks as well. So, speaking of which, let's look at his super attacks. So his 12 key, he stacks attack, defense for 1 turn, and does, I'm assuming that's colossal damage to the enemy. And then on his 18 key, he greatly stacks attack, raise defense by 50% for 4 turns, and then colossal damage to the enemy. Okay, so this must be immense then. So those are good super attack effects, especially if he's launching a bunch. That is very significant. This guy's actually going to be a monster and should be able to tank post super attack. I imagine before he supers, he can maybe take a ton of damage, but afterwards, especially if you're able to stack these, because that, again, that is a 4-turn 50% buff. That is super good. His transformation condition, let's see. Well, that's his active. What is the condition for it? Where is the condition? Oh, it'll be right here, right? Yeah, okay. So it can be performed from 5th turn from first appearance, which isn't my favorite, meaning if you get this guy on turn, or like slot 7, it'll be a long time before you can actually activate this. But, oh yeah, it's right here. It was all the way at the top. So he transforms into full power Super Saiyan Broly, and then for 4 turns, he gets the Domain, which gives all extreme class allies 4 key. And then on top of that, the Domain effect is 10% attack and defense for all Super Boss category enemies and allies, and then an additional attack and defense plus 10% if Exploding Rage or Movie Boss category ally is included, and damage received by superclass enemies and allies by 10%. Alright, that is good. So superclass enemies will be doing less damage. If you are running superclass on the team, they'll be doing a lot less damage as well. But that is a massive buff. This is kind of like what the Fusion Zamasu Domain does, which is a little bit better in my opinion than Ultimate Gohan, because Ultimate Gohan, or not Ultimate, Future Gohan, his just does the Domain. This does 2 separate things. So this is support here and then support here, which is super good. But yeah, turn 5 from first appearance, you were able to go into full power. So he gets 6 ki and 300% attack and defense. He is doubling his stats. And keep in mind, he was stacking attack this entire time, so this attack stat is going to be huge. He still has guaranteed guard. Every time he gets a type key sphere, he gets an additional 1 ki. While his domain is activated, he gets 26% damage reduction until he attacks. All right. He gets an additional 50% attack when attacking. He gets 50% defense when receiving an attack. He gets an additional, he will launch a guaranteed additional super. 26% chance to crit when activating a super attack. When he launches a super attack, an additional super attack so he'll launch an additional super attack when he launches a super, and he gets 26% chance to crit, and then he launches an additional when he reaches 24 ki. So how many supers is that? Hold on, I need to. So he launches his. Let's say he launches a 24 ki. That's an additional there. That's an additional there. He's stacking crit this entire time as well. There's an additional there. So that is he's launching 3 additionals when ki's at 24. So you can do up to 4 attacks and then hit a potential system that would make it 5. And again, he is stacking. Or he did stack in his previous form. So that is super, super good. And then the 12 ki right here, raise attack and defense for 1 turn and does maximum damage to enemies. Again, that is an AoE. So I'm really wondering, like, are they actually going to do anything with that? Or is that just a useless ability just for, like, you know, for the sake of him being consistent with other Broly units? And then his new 18 ki, he greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, and then colossal damage to the enemy. So he doesn't have really any, like, special abilities. I was kind of expecting an attack break on here, or, I mean, anything. But outside of that, he does seem super good. So, he doesn't necessarily have to go into slot 1, because he has this 26% damage reduction, which is really low. But if you were able to keep him into slot 2, let's say there's an AoE into slot 1, this should reliably help him tank, and then once he loses that damage reduction, launching all those additionals is going to start building this up, meaning he should tank regardless. Plus, guard and damage reduction is good. Plus, he's getting the support from his own domain, which was like 20% attack and defense since he's on super bosses and movie bosses. And he's all this chance to crit. He's basically slightly above a 50% chance to crit after he launches a super attack. So that first super attack, maybe you want to put a little bit of crit on him, maybe. But other than that, this guy is super good. He is well worth an anniversary. This guy is amazing. And again, his animations are just so stellar. I can't get over how, like, beautiful his animations are. But now let's go on to Carnival Gogeta, and let's check out his animations. Again, I hope these aren't too loud. We'll put it, whoops, no, something like that, yeah. All right, let's go.
The camera is so cool, man. And pretty much these animations, I feel like Gogeta, all of his animations have been taken before from other characters. These are like the same attacks, just from slightly different angles, which is something that I like that they're doing. So pretty much Dokkan could theoretically go on forever. Even if Dragon Ball stops, they could just do these iconic animations, just change the angle a little bit. Like you'll see right here, that's slightly different, but it's still so cool. Gogeta, his animations are good, but they're not nearly as good as Broly's. But once he goes blue, it is a completely different story. And that OST, man! Woo! Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so cool! This is the first time seeing those, and I'm still hype as hell.
俺にどこまでついてこれるかな
No, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. He tugs on his vest. Oh, let's go, boys. And then this is the new mechanic, the, like, targeting effect. We'll get into that later. It is a super broken ability. And then this is just, like, the best animation of Dokkan. Whenever you get a Dokkan original, you know they're gonna cook. Look at this! And it also has a very similar finish where it's like
Blowing up or shattering the altered dimension. So freaking cool, man. They really cooked with that. Amatsu, you can pack yourself on the back. All right. So, Super Saiyan Gogeta, he is I'm assuming that's movie heroes. 200%, which is good. Movie heroes is always going to be good just because of how many movies there is. Like, you could run the gods, you could run Orange Piccolo, Beastless Gohan. When we get Beast Gohan for part 2, boom, you can run them. There's so many good options you can run him with. So, yeah, very, 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 very powerful team. So, even though he doesn't have an intro, which is maybe a little bit disappointing, while his animations, again, they were good, some of them were a little bit short. Like, Broly animations were just long, and they were so in-depth. Now, he did get, like, I mean, honestly, his card art is cooler than almost anything he does in this form. But, enough rambling on about animations, they're fire as hell. So, he gets 2 ki at 154% attack and defense at the start of turn. He is super effective against all types. He gets an additional 100% attack and defense when performing a super. He guards against all attacks for 3 turns from first appearance. He gets, every time he gets a key sphere, he gets an additional 1 ki. He rainbow keep changes. Oh no, every time he gets a rainbow key sphere, he gets +2, and then here it is. Randomly changes one type of key sphere except for physical to rainbow. And then he launches an additional attack with a 50% chance of it being a super. And then if he obtains 1 or more rainbow key spheres, he will guaranteed launch an additional super. Okay, so let's just count really quick how many supers that is. You launch a 24 ki. He has a 50% chance here, a guaranteed one here. I mean, it's guaranteed, but you just have to get a key sphere, a rainbow key sphere, but he rainbow key changes, so that doesn't even matter. That is super good. And then for his super attack effects, on his 12 ki, greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, and then huge damage. Again, I'm assuming that's immensive. And then his 18 ki, he stacks defense, greatly raises attack for 1 turn, and then colossal damage to the enemy. Again, there's no special effects. I'm kind of surprised. Like, not even, like, stunning, sealing, attack debuffing, anything. I'm a little shocked to see that. But then he also has his transformation, which is also an active skill, which can be performed from his 4th turn from first appearance. So, pretty much, you can get this way easier than you can the Broly form. Once again, they're just disrespecting villains, but that's fine. Now we have this guy, who is probably the best character in the game. So for 4 turns from first appearance, recover 54% HP at the start of every turn. That is stupidly broken. Now, a lot of characters, upon like entering the first attacking turn, they'll heal 70%, 60%, 100% even. But basically, you're going to get this twice, because it's for 4 turns. So you transform, boom, 54% HP recovery. Entering the next attacking turn, boom, another 54% HP recovery. You are going to be so safe running this guy. Especially if you have 2 of him on the team, you're running him as leader. That means you could transform, and then you could transform. That's going to be 4 consecutive turns where you're basically going to be recovering more than half your health. Insane. He gets 3 ki and 200% attack and defense at the start of turn. He's still super effective against all types. He gets an additional 100% attack and defense when performing a super. Every time he gets a key sphere, he gets an additional 2 ki. He randomly changes a key sphere physical excluded to rainbow key spheres. He gets an additional super attack. And if you obtain 1 or more rainbow key spheres, he will launch an additional super attack. He has an extremely high probability, 70% chance to dodge, and increases your chance for a critical hit 20% each time you evade. Is that in a turn, or does that stack? Ooh. Wait, he can get a 100% chance to crit, and he's super effective against all types. And he... Oh, okay, yep. He's even better than I thought. And then he has a 70% chance to nullify Ki Blast super attacks aimed at this character and counter with tremendous power. So he's just better UI Goku, who's going to be doing 1 billion damage, and he does defensive stack in his base form, so more than likely you're not going to get caught slipping, even if you get tagged once. So let's look at what his super attack effects are. We'll get to the active skill in just 1 second. So he greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, and then huge damage. Again, I'm assuming that's immense. And then massively raise attack for 4 turns and causes huge damage to the enemy on his 18 ki. So he doesn't get defense there, but again, he has a 70% chance to dodge character, so I don't know how much that really matters. So, 70% chance to dodge, and then each time you dodge, 20% crit. 5 dodges, you have guaranteed crit. So you're launching a 24 key. You're launching an additional super. You're launching an additional super if you get a rainbow key sphere, which again, it's guaranteed to do, essentially. You can get up to 100% chance to crit. You're already super effective against all types. You have massive amounts of attack. Recovering HP at the start of turn. You can nullify and do tremendous power. Yeah, this guy's cracked. And if he wasn't powerful enough, he has this active skill, which temporarily raises attack, causes immense damage to the enemy, focuses enemy attacks to him, and then he gets a guaranteed dodge for a turn. So let's go really slowly. He's doing a super powerful attack, okay? He is then making the enemy attack him, targeting him, and then he has guaranteed dodge. I don't even think they needed to add this. He already has 70% chance to dodge. But no, it's guaranteed dodge. And outside of AoEs, because apparently AoEs are excluded from this. That's what I assumed when I made my custom Dokkan characters. But yeah, AoEs still will hit other characters. But other than that, you're guaranteed to live on this turn. And you can do it from the next attacking turn. So let's just go over this again real slow. You transform into him. Bunch of HP recovery. You're going to be launching. You're going to be rainbow keys changing. You're going to be doing multiple additional supers. So you're going to get a massive attack stack for 4 turns. This will make this active skill do even more damage, by the way. That's a 100% boost for 4 turns. Basically, you won't die. You enter the next attacking turn. Oh, wait, you get to transform into yet another Gogeta, meaning you get to heal another 54% HP, and you get to do all this over again. You're back to this turn. Oh, wait, you get to do this. You're going to basically kill the enemy, and if for whatever reason he survives, you're guaranteed to live that next turn. Enter the next attacking turn. Guess what? You're going to heal another 54% HP. You can launch this again, killing the enemy outright. I guarantee it. And then for whatever reason, if they still are alive, you're not going to die in that turn either. He is so unbelievably busted. I can't believe this guy. His animations are so good. His kit, like, this has to be the strongest kit in the game. Now, here isn't necessarily my favorite, because what does he have in terms of defense? He just has guard for the 3 turns, but that doesn't even really matter, because when the guard wears off, you're going to be able to transform into him, because the only restriction he has is his turn restriction. Now, if he had dodge in this form, would I be a little bit more comfortable? Yes. But he is defense stacking, you know, and he is able to launch a bunch of additionals, meaning you can get several of these procs to activate. Both of their base forms are super good. Like, no doubt about that. But, like, these transformed states are on a complete other level. Entirely. These guys cooked. And in terms of banners, I probably should have pulled up their banners first. But, his banner is actually insane. He has the blue fusions on it. He has the DBZ duo. He has, who else does he have on it? He has Zamasu on his banner. Zamasu's actually on his 200%. Whereas this banner is a little bit more lackadaisical, just because Carnivals haven't had enough time to really bolster themselves up. You have, like, Carnival Kid Gohan. You have Tree of Hope Goku, which is a shame because before I did this video, I was thinking Broly was, like, way better, but the ridiculousness of this, I think I'm now changing my tune thinking that Gogeta is way better. Not in base form. Like, in terms of base forms, Broly is better. And Broly does have better support because he does have this domain, which is insane. But yeah, no, this has to be #1 in the game. I think this will finally dethrone Orange Piccolo. I'm excited to see some showcases. I haven't seen any showcases yet or anything. I kind of knew what they did by watching, like, Goresh do live translations. But, like, reading this in front of me, if I'm interpreting everything correctly, this guy is insane. Honestly, this guy is insane. If I'm reading this right and he, like, guaranteed has 100% damage reduction, absolutely nuts. Now, there's one final thing that we need to watch that you guys need to be on the lookout for. And I'm just going to be completely quiet so you can listen to Amatsu cook.
お持ちいたしました。まずは統合する範囲について今検討しているプランの詳細をお伝えできればと思います。こちらになります。キャラクターの実装スケジュール、イベントの実施スケジュール のタイミングを日本版と統合いたします。そしてそのタイミングですが、2024年夏頃に決定いたしました。海外版独自のイベントの仕様を今後どう調整するかなど、現在検討中の事項も多々ございますが、世界中の皆さんのご期待に添えるよう運営一同全力で取り組ませていただきます。さらなる詳細は今後のプロデューサーレターやドッカンナウにてお知らせいたしますので、お楽しみにしてください。また現在
Alright. So, within the next few months, alright, within like the next 6 months, there's going to be a global sync, meaning that the JP and global versions of the game are going to be unison. Now, my guess is what they're going to do is that these characters are going to drop like the first or second week of July for JP. And then when the worldwide download celebration happens, because that's already a joint celebration, my expectation is just from moving on, once the worldwide download celebration ends, from there on out, we're going to have synced celebrations. As you saw there, Amatsu, there are still things that they were talking about, so I don't know if that's not set in stone, but that makes the most sense to me. Have things be different up until then, and then once we have a synced celebration, there's no reason not to just go ahead and make that massive leap and join the game. So I think that's honestly, that is the most exciting thing out of this entire thing. I don't care how hyped these animations are. That is like the best thing that could possibly happen for this game. I know that means we're going to lose out on global hindsight, which is something that I'm personally quite fond of, but you know, that's just what we have to expect. That way, hype will always be like in one spot. Now, I know there is an argument where it's like, well, yeah, there's hype in January, and then there's hype in July, and then there's hype again in August. You know what I mean? But just having to sit and wait, like me as a global player, having to sit and wait 6 months, because I want these characters now. You know what I mean? I want to do all these events. I'm a content creator now. I want to make content on this, so while things are like the most relevant. So I think ultimately for the lifespan of the game, that is a fantastic decision, and I am super excited for that. But yeah, that is in less than half an hour, everything you need to know about the celebration, their animations, their kits, and the big thing that the global sync is happening. Now, if you are a JP player, these banners are live right now. Definitely go summon. I think they're absolutely worth it. Or if you want to wait until part 2, feel free to do that as well. We won't really know what the part 2 banners are for like 2 to 3 weeks. And again, we're expecting Cell Max to beast Gohan. Again, it would be hilarious if we got a Super Saiyan Goku and like a base form Goku, but that's not going to happen. Please, please. Amatsu, I just praised you. You cooked. Don't ruin it. But yeah, that is going to be all for this time, guys. I've been the Sweeper27. I'm a variety Twitch streamer and an up-and-coming YouTuber trying to make it big in the world. I have a Twitter, a Twitch, and a TikTok, the link to which can be found in the description of this video. And while you're down there, don't forget to like, subscribe, share me around, and leave me a comment. Let me know how hyped you are for this. And if you kind of like this information video where I kind of let you know what you need to do or like what to look out for, please let me know, and I will be more than willing to make more of these in the future. But yeah, that's going to be all for this time, guys. So as always, I've been the Sweeper27, and I am signing off.